Okay, we'll call the meeting to order tonight for the city of Saratoga Springs. Oops. Tuesday, June 6th, 2023 at 6:01 p.m. Present tonight, we have Councilman Podeska, Councilman McComber, Councilman Wilden, Councilman Carn. Councilman Porter's been excused. Invocation, we'll have Councilman Wilden lead us in our invocation, and Councilman McComber in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful this day. We're grateful for the opportunity to meet as community leaders this evening and evaluate those things that will improve our lives of all those who live here and those who will come for many years. And we're grateful for our armed forces and our first responders and ask to bless them with safety. And these things we say in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, amen. I'll sit down first.
You're doing it. Karn, you said Karn.
I'm doing, okay.
You said Karn.
I thought I said Karn.
No, you said Karn.
Will you join me at the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express ideas, concerns, and comments for subject matter not listed on the agenda. If you're here for public input, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Please avoid repetitive comments, and please keep your comments, I know, limited to 3 minutes. Okay, we have the most packed room tonight. We'll close public input. Okay, any reports from the council to start?
No.
Okay, I was going to just report back, had MAG meeting last week. We did approve the budget, the MAG road alignment, not alignments, but project list, voicing our opinion with Eagle Mountain, Lehigh, American Fork, Highland, that we expect things to change and focus to become to the north. I did request that population growth be part of the equation. One mayor pointed out his resident, he's up to 10,000 people and has enough inventory to almost double that in the next 2 years. And one of the mayors pointed out that between us and Eagle Mountain, we'll do that in the next 30 days. So just to kind of balance that out. It's not a competition now. We're the 15th largest in the state.
I believe we're in
City?
Yes, we're up there.
So anyways, just trying to balance that out into projects. All the mayors were very supportive of getting the process balanced out. From MAG, the new MAG leadership is really trying to fix some things that we've discovered in the past. Representative Moss has met with the city, along with Carlos from UDOT and city staff, and really dove into the road project thing. And I think things are going to start turning around so that we can get things a little more organized going forward with the difference between fed, state, and local funding. Councilman Carn?
Yeah, just real quick, I forgot, city manager, myself, and some staff, along with several state agencies, met with Congressman Owens a couple days ago. When was that? Monday? No, last Friday. Along the lake shore, just to see where there's opportunity for the federal government to participate in some projects that we're looking at from the ULA perspective and city perspective.
Okay, that's great. Councilman Wilden?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Anything from administration?
Mayor and Council, I would like to just invite Jeremy to give you a quick update on a couple of items.
The first one, Mayor and Council, is the name change we've discussed before, the request to change Foothill to Mountain View Corridor. We met with UDOT Region 3 Director Rob just to make sure that they didn't have any concerns. He said, we don't care, do whatever you want. And particularly, we are about to, not in the next few months, install signs on this new extension. So now would be the right time to do it. I had our streets department audit. There are 12 signs currently that would have to be changed. There's four of the big ones on the intersections, then there's 8 smaller ones. So we were, if council directs us to make that change, we would suggest that we just call it Mountain View and not put Corridor Street or anything, so that there's no confusion between, it's not Mountain View Corridor per se. So we would just suggest that if you would like us to move forward with that, we would change the signs to just say Mountain View.
Mountain View Boulevard, maybe?
I think Mountain View's great because then people buying homes can anticipate Mountain View's going to extend and not come in going, I had no idea that the wide spans between houses was a road. Haven't heard that one yet.
Mountain View Boulevard, instead of sort of all the boulevard model.
Yeah, Boulevard Parkway, or just leave it off. I don't know, what are the other council members, or just, that was my idea too, or Mark suggested maybe just doing a Mountain View with nothing at the
I
end.
think it'd be more confusing just leaving it Mountain View, because a lot of people refer to the freeway as Mountain View, not Mountain View Corridor Freeway. So I think having a boulevard would make it sound like a road next to the Mountain View
Sure.
corridor, but that's just me.
Sounds good to me. That's fine.
Let's name it.
There is 2 houses that we need to formally give notice to and go through that
The one's
process.
empty, but yeah.
We'll work with our GIS department. There are things we have to file with emergency dispatch to make sure that,
Wilden would like to suggest Wilden's Wide Road.
anyway, moving on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Option 2. If the
This
other
one-
one's taken.
This one we haven't discussed before. I apologize. I was going to try to email you, but I didn't have time. We have been working, there's a concept, counterintuitive, that sometimes trash cans actually cause more trash. And this is something that actually is done, that's been done in major cities like Tokyo and whatever, but also here locally. So Layton City, for almost a decade, has removed the majority of their garbage cans from their parks and found actually that it results in less litter and trash. Now, I'm not suggesting that we just go crazy, but I am suggesting that we maybe look at starting on a very, very small scale as a test. Some of the parks or locations that were recommended by our Rick, for instance, would be the Power Line Corridor Trail. So you may not even know the Jacobs Ranch Power Core Line Trail has trash cans on the road crossings.
For poop.
Potentially for poop. So, and one thing was we would do is we would not, if there was a poop dispenser bag, we would leave the trash can. Because obviously we're going to provide bags. we want
Because
them
then
to-
they just throw it on the side.
Right.
They do.
If there
They
is,
still do that.
but if there was a trash can in a small,
But they're-
lightly used area, another thing would be Remington Park would be another example. We would like to experiment with this. Now, if it
So
wasn't
it's an
successful,
interesting
we can
model
back.
because like Disney's the opposite, right?
Right.
Disney says they have 1 can for every 20 square feet. And then you never see garbage on the ground at all. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm okay with you guys trying.
We did,
I was thinking
we did do a
Disney's
trial,
is
so, Rick,
Yeah.
there was a trash can, for instance, at the boat ramp at the kayak launch in Inlet Park that Rick was saying was constantly overflowing with garbage. And because the issue isn't per se that people aren't using the trash can, the issue is that people will put trash on the ground next to it or whatever, and then the wind comes and blows it around. So actually,
But the can's full and then they put it to the side.
right, and some of those users, so people,
That
you know.
we should be emptying.
In some of those parks, we would put signs up that say, please pack in, pack out, or whatever like that. So we're suggesting on a very small trial scale. And if it's successful, we could look at other small parks. We probably would never, we would probably never suggest Patriot or something like that because that needs to be baseball tournaments and we're selling concessions. But areas where we're not selling anything and we're not providing bags and people are bringing it in, then we suggest,
What's the frequency right now that they empty the trash can?
let me see here.
If it's once a month, then that's maybe a problem.
I mean, it depends on the park, I guess. It just depends. Like Patriot Park, multiple cans a day, but, for example, in a trash, the cost per bag right now, the city pays about $1.16 per bag because they're industrial bags.
Is that just the bag? not the
For instance, Patriot Park goes through 60 bags a day. So we're spending $70 a day just in Patriot Park on trash bags. Now, that's obviously an extreme example. Harvest Hills Park goes through about 12 trash bags a day. And then man hours saved would be, we're spending it's about one full-time person, so about 40 hours a week in labor to do all the citywide parks. So,
Now, are they emptying them each day, or is that just a number cumulative over time?
I think generally each day, but they do a visual check. So if they're gonna go by a lightly used park like Remington and it's 2/3 empty, they probably do a visual check and don't empty it.
Well, it's worth a try. Try it, but I'll be shocked.
So,
And if you remove them, I presume you're gonna hang on to them, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, we're gonna throw away the trash can.
Throw away the garbage cans in another one.
Where do you throw away a garbage can?
No, and again, where like Layton has seen a lot of success with this, I think for sure, like some of these really small parks, we've got multiple cans in, and it's like, let's experiment. And
it's worth a try.
if it works, then great, and if it doesn't, we've got the cans, we can put them right back.
Sounds good.
Okay. That is it.
Perfect. Anything else?
No, just appreciate Councilmember Carn's feedback on the Congressman Owens. We've got a lot going on, looking forward to Splash, and want to thank staff preemptively for all of the different departments that have put a lot of effort into making that go wonderful. Ann and her team have done a great job, and I expect that, weather permitting, we're going to have a phenomenal week.
Okay, perfect.
One more thing, I just want to make sure you guys all saw the email about the Ring Road closure.
Extension.
The VMS signs will be up tomorrow notifying the public of an extension.
That's gonna go over well.
Yeah, I mean,
When's the deadline?
what, I can't put it on a VMS sign, but what we're doing is we're avoiding a future road closure when Holiday Oil goes under construction. So a small extension now will actually save more delays and road cuts later, but it's, obviously a lot of.
When is the current deadline and what's the?
It was gonna be the 8th, so in 2 days, it's extended to the 16th.
Okay.
But again, that'll avoid having to close it when Holiday Oil goes under construction.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anything else? Mark, real quick, just, Michael brought it up with the dog, prizes that are left along trails. Do we have a city ordinance or?
We do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We just need a camera.
we need to catch them in the act, but yeah, it's disgusting and.
and we went along the city trail the other day and I thought I'd taken pictures of all of them, but I don't think my iPhone has the memory.
You know what? I
Or-
think this would be a great thing for our public relations team to
It's
kind
only
of put
128,
some
yeah,
reminders
but there's a
out.
lot of
That actually reminds me as well, does our code, people who have these electronic leashes are calling them leashes, so they're on the trail running and then their dog can just run anywhere. The whole point of being on leash is to keep the dog close to you. For people like me, I'm actually extremely afraid of dogs. I was attacked by a dog as a child, and so I get very high anxiety anytime a dog gets near me. And does our code, if we can look into code and make sure that our code actually says that electronic leash does not count, because it like allows for up to 20 feet from the individual, and there's no way to yank or get the dog back as long as the dog's within that 20 feet. And the whole point is, I'm tired of having people's dogs sniff me when I'm running, and so if we could look into that, that'd be great. It's just a new thing. There's a new technology. We need to get on top of
I've
it.
never even heard of them.
Yeah. Because this lady, I said, dog's on leash, and she goes, he's on an electronic leash. And I'm like, what the heck? And I looked it up, and I was like, it's a thing. So we need to, now that technology is catching up, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Thanks.
I'll do the consent.
And then Mayor, if we do some PR to remind people to not just bag their poop and leave it on the side of the trail, but to actually get it into a garbage can, it'd be much appreciated.
Yes.
Couldn't we do a tandem splash about it or something?
We could.
Can you man that, Ted?
I'm not manning that.
But every owner, every dog owner is amazing in the city. Nobody ever breaks the rules in this city. They're all amazing dog owners. That's what you're gonna get on all the posts, just so you know.
So include some pictures of dog poop on the side of the trail. This is evidence.
Well, it would be nice if it was on the side of the trail. It's right in the middle of the trail.
So, okay, if there's no more reports, consent item.
Move to approve consent items, number 1 on the calendar dated today. No.
I'll second. It's
Okay, I have a first from
as listed
Councilman,
on the
Yeah,
agenda.
yeah, it's listed on the agenda, yeah.
first from Councilman Carn, second from Councilman McComber. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Business items, code amendment, Title 19.18, sign regulations.
Good evening, council, or mayor, council.
going for the curbside pickup sign. This is different than what we did last time, obviously. What we're proposing here is smaller actually than what the Habit Burger one did. These are only 1.6 square feet, max height of 6 feet. And then after talking with council, we changed our original maximum allowed of 10% of the parking stalls on the business down to 5%. And then also they added that we should have it to where they can't be illuminated.
Do those count towards their parking requirement? Because technically those people aren't using the facility inside. So why would it account if they're not actually in the restaurant? They're just, it's a Uber Eats guy going in and grabbing it and then leaving. That's not meeting the parking requirement for having a certain amount of stalls per square footage of the.
I do want to address that question, and of course, whatever decision you make is up to you, but just giving you the staff feedback on that. So we did research other cities, and we did find that none of the other cities have anything in place. So we don't have any comparables. We also discussed whether or not to make this an extra parking requirement. What that would do would make any of the existing businesses that are right at the requirement not able to have them, or non-conforming, or out of compliance. And then we also looked at, our parking ratios and what that does to the businesses, and then having 5%. So what staff is recommending is that we not make it an additional requirement. One of the economic reasons for that is that we want to be comparable to other cities in terms of drawing businesses, and adding parking standards that are higher than other cities makes that more challenging. So that's just the background information on why we didn't include that in the proposal. However, if the council would like that and directs us to do so, we can certainly consider that.
Other cities have less parking requirements than we have, so why aren't we just matching every other city, just being like Lehigh and Orem, Provo? We have higher parking standards now for our buildings, so why now all of a sudden we want to be like every city? I'm just curious. Why this issue, we want to be like every other city when all the rest, we are more restrictive?
And we're looking for direction, so if the council would like to see something different, we're certainly happy to bring something back to you.
I mean, 5% is pretty low, I think, and I'm good with 5%. But if we're talking about 1 out of 20 and they have like a 30-minute, I mean, I'm okay starting with that as part of the parking. I mean, I get your point. I think if it was 10% or 15 or 20 or whatever, we definitely would say, don't count it. It needs to be additional, but
I would be comfortable with the 5% because it is a reduction. But then to Councilman McComber's point, if a restaurant only has enough stalls to have 2 to-go parking stalls and they wanted 3, that third one would have to be above and beyond required parking.
that's a good.
So it's getting what Michael's after with, we're not just taking out more stalls.
And I'm just reiterating again, anybody can park in these spots whenever they want.
Yeah.
They're not regulated. They're not like we're going to be towing people.
No.
Right, they say 30 minutes, but no one's.
But it's not enforceable because it's not
I'm just,
law.
Yeah, I'm good with the 5% as well, because, I mean, if you're looking at a 50 stall, that's 2.5 stalls.
yeah, and if they wanted 5, the extra stalls would have to be in addition to the minimum
Yeah.
parking requirement.
I like that as well.
You know, and Councilman McComber,
I like it.
I didn't notice it as an issue until you actually said something about it, and I won't say what restaurant, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Whatever. I went there, I'm like, this is like half the parking lot.
The whole side, yeah.
So I do think this is a good
I'm
addition.
okay with this. We can try it for now.
Okay.
I really, it was a good point before, because that was like half the parking lot.
So do you have what you need for direction then? Okay.
And I like that we're matching the handicap size.
And you can
Distancing.
always add that to what you just stated, so that we can, make sure that that's in the code.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You don't want them LAD though, right? No, I'm
No,
kidding.
not lit. Yeah, definitely not.
I'm joking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So
I'll move.
Are we ready?
Are you ready? Do you have more? or-
Do you need?
No, this
Rich
is
for that?
just showing the texts.
She's just going to
Change.
take some of the minutes.
Oh, there's more?
No, that's just that.
If,
Go ahead.
if we're good,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve business item 1 as stated on the agenda, including any staff findings and conditions.
I'll second it, but can you add, Stephen, that they're going to add some of the verbiage that we outlined in council today?
Yes, what was that? Can you remind me?
Verbiage, just, they're going to take it from the minutes, but just about how with 5%, if you want an extra one.
Oh, yes, adding a condition that if they're requesting more than 5%, it is above and beyond their standard parking requirements.
I'll second it then.
Okay, so I have a
I
first
missed
and a
that.
second. Any further discussion? Karn?
Aye.
Wilden?
Aye.
Comber?
Aye.
Kadeska?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We have the code amendment Title 19, Title II update, reflecting state law changes.
Mayor and council, this is the first round of probably 3 or 4 different rounds of changes that were basically made by the state legislature in this last session. This one, it's pretty simple. It's in your packet. It's basically 4 different types of changes, restrictions on what we can do in development agreements, restrictions on no longer allowing or being able to require plat amendments for lot line adjustments. We've talked about this one before, but the restrictions on requiring bonding for private landscaping. And then the last one is some noticing requirements that have been imposed on us. So noticing now for different types of public hearings, especially land use public hearings, it's a lot more stringent now. Requires posting in various places, public places in the city. And also for certain types of decisions, we have to post on the affected property.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Otherwise, these are pretty much changes
match the
that
state
are
code.
required by the state legislature.
The question on that.
Okay, Councilman
So
Kuster.
my only question is, Kevin, we don't have any legislative discretion here. This is the state mandating changes to our code.
You do have,
Essentially, right?
you do have the decision to not enforce this until later, but
No, you're thinking of the later changes that come with, so basically later in the year when we are required to pass, so basically at some point, you're not going to be able to review plats for 1 and 2 family dwellings. Now, for multifamily, attached housing, and commercial site plans, you will be able to be the decision maker for those. But for basic plat approvals, 1 and 2 family dwellings, you're no longer going to be able to review those plats. Those will have to be staff
Is there
approved.
anything such as a one-family unit?
And that's,
so like,
Like a
just think of
single
a
family.
subdivision that's just all single homes. It can't come to you. It will just be automatically
Or-
approved.
Under the state, there's no such thing as a single-family home anymore. They're all IADUs.
Well, which is why it's single and double homes.
So
I
this
mean,
is the
again,
state telling every single municipality that they know how to develop.
So if a development has
Better than we do.
all duplexes, then they don't have to come either.
they don't have, the plat has to go to staff for approval.
those are the things though, and we recognize that this is not what we would choose to do. And,
Can we
but
approve this under duress?
you can.
I would like it to be part of the motion, that it's begrudgingly
Hang
motion.
the flag up.
But that's not what you're approving today. That'll
Oh.
Coming up.
later in the year.
Well, any
Coming later.
state mandated, I want to be begrudgingly approving. So,
Yeah.
Because development in Moab is the same as development in Saratoga Springs. So let's make a one-size-fits-all
but it's
solution.
different in the prison side, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Ready?
The big,
Okay,
kind of the big
I'll
one, I
entertain
think the
motion.
policy question, and I think the thing that we're going to hear feedback from the residents is we no longer can require bonding for private landscaping. And so when developers don't do that, that's going to be a code enforcement matter rather than bonding, and we'll have less leverage. We'll be able to send out the code enforcement officers, but that's all that the city
The
can
state
do.
also
gonna fall
wants
in
us,
the-
but the
that'll
state
fall.
also wants us to go and get landscaping plans and actually audit them and go in and inspect them.
If there's no bonding, that's just gonna fall in the HOAs.
Like, I just love how
Probably.
the state works.
Yeah, it won't fall on the
Code
developer.
enforcement, developer, yeah, that's exactly what.
It's gonna fall on the HOAs. The developer gets off the hook.
They're going to walk away.
Well,
Just like they did in Legacy Farms. Okay.
Don't
I'm
worry,
predicting-
Councilmember Karn, they are the developers.
I'm predicting more.
HOAs are the developers at first.
Well, yeah, but the homeowner's gonna get stuck with it.
The
They
nice
will.
thing,
Well,
under the law, though, one thing to add to that, if they're asking for a rezone, we can require that in a development agreement.
Okay.
So, anyway, Sorry, Steve.
I'm predicting more class action lawsuits over the years by homeowners against developers. That's the only way that they'll be able to enforce it.
They'll just bankrupt the company that did that development.
Yeah,
They'll just
and
open
start
a new one.
another one.
Yep.
Okay,
I move to approve Code Amendment Title 10 and Title 19 and Title 2 update reflecting state law changes under duress.
Okay, I have a first under duress. Do I have a second?
under duress.
I have a second under duress from Councilman Carn. Any further discussion?
I want it in the minutes.
We're being
Under
forced to do
duress.
this.
Both of them.
Are we using that legal term correctly?
Sounds good to me. I don't know.
Lawyer's just dying.
I don't know
Right,
that
go
Robert's
ahead.
rules.
Councilman Podeska,
Aye.
McComber.
Aye.
Wilden,
Aye.
Carn.
That was his duress. That was
Aye.
his duress. Aye.
Okay,
Sarah's not laughing.
passed unanimously under duress. Foothill Boulevard extension right of way.
I'm back. Okay, so this is all these parcels. I don't know if you can see those pictures very well. I have them all separated on the plat sheets. The right is showing the zoning, it's planned community, and then R110 is showing through.
Yep.
That's all together. Obviously, north is tipped and set up and down.
Yep.
Drives me crazy, but yeah. And so that's the first one that's showing at Pony Express,
Yep.
and then just moving on down.
So this is just cleaning up all of the
Yep.
land acquisition, yep.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve Foothill Boulevard Extension right-of-way dedication plat as listed on the agenda.
I'll
I have a
second.
First from Councilman McComber, second from Councilman Podeska. Any further discussion? Carn?
Aye.
Wilden?
Aye.
McComber?
Aye.
Podeska?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We have the agreement with MHTN Architects for preparation of the downtown master plan. It's good to see you, Doug.
You too. I've missed you.
Thanks.
This resolution is for to approve the contract to do the master plan for the downtown area for MHTN. We have gone through the process where we've sent out the RFP. We've made some changes to the scope because we wanted the property owner, there's only one property owner's buy-in on the process that we're going through. We do have that, and we're lockstep in moving forward. So you have before you a resolution and the agreement, so.
Okay. I will entertain a motion if there's no
Is the
questions.
property owner fully on board here?
Yes, and part of the committee.
Okay. I move to approve business item 4, agreement with MHTN Architects, Inc. for preparation of the downtown master plan study, resolution R 23-27, dated today with any findings and conditions in the staff report.
I'll second.
First from Councilman Carn, second from Councilman Wilden. Any further discussion? McComber?
Aye.
Wilden?
Aye.
Podeska?
Aye.
Carn?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.